they
Yeah.
happen.
All right. So what I find though is for agent locators, mostly buyers, right? You don't get a whole lot of listing leads on agent locator unless does anybody have a different experience? No. The other thing was farming was a good thing. I'm pressing that. I think farming needs to happen. And also this week here, you should be in your routine now. School's over. Kids are in a routine now. You got to be all signed up for all things they have to sign up for now. So now it's you times. Now it's time for you to get back to your business and make sure your business is on track. You're taking care of everybody else. It's time to do it yourself, right? So try to do the exercise if you can. It's the girls here have been selling real estate for 7 years now, right? And basically, so they're teaching you. Basically, they're showing you what they did. So it's not like it's not theoretical. It's not a wishful thinking or I did this 40 years ago. No, this is current, right? So anyways, take advantage of it if you can. And it's not really hard. I just wrote down a couple of things here, just saying, who's your target market? Target market. Has anybody in this room ever heard of before a thing called expiries? Right? Who put up the hand? Who knows I'm saying expiries? And the reason why I'm asked here, because those people that started business in the last 3, 4, 5 years, there's no such thing as been expiries. That's unheard of. Today, different story. There's guys out there that make their living on expired listings. It's completely against the law to target listings on MLS. But if you're watching a particular listing on a particular street and it's no longer for sale, then that house is no longer for sale. You can certainly door knock and so on and so forth. But there's a target market, expired listings. Another target market would be for sale by owners. FSBOs, right?
Yeah.
And that's an art, and you got to have a certain skin to be able to do that. But if you've got that skin and that art, then there's a target market, right? Pre-construction is a target market, right? Pre-construction is a target market. If you're going to get in the pre-construction game, then you want to know all the pre-constructions going on, not just the ones that come through on your email. You want to know the whole thing, right? Farming is a target market. First-time buyers are a target market. How about bungalows? Anybody have clients that want bungalows? Why not search for all the bungalows in the city and advertise for a list of bungalows called today? Because a lot of people want to move from 2 stories to bungalows, right? And they're very rare, but there's a target market. Condominiums. I had 2 guys years ago. They would concentrate on nothing but Tridel condominiums. And they're the Tridel specialists, and that's you remember those guys, and that's what they advertise, and that's the buildings that they concentrate on. They concentrate on all Tridel buildings. So you can target market all types of different things there, right? And then you go to the next step, and okay, now you've got your target market. What are you gonna do about it, right? And that's where Katelyn comes in and talks about that stuff. So that's
Yeah, and what I found, a lot of people will say, well, my target audience is everybody. I want to work with everybody, but my whole point of your marketing is to focus on one thing for people know you for one thing. So like you're the gas station guy, you're the guy that helps first time home buyers, you're the guy that works in our area, you're the guy that does FSBO. It's like you want to be known for something, not everything. So
just so you know, we've got people in this office that do nothing. Well, they'll do other things too, but they'll do nothing but pharmacies. They'll do nothing but gas stations. They'll do tax sales.
it's not to say first time home buyer calls you, you're gonna turn it away. You're focusing your audience a little bit better.
And the other thing, the point I wanted to emphasize too, that what we're talking about, all this target market stuff, we're only talking about 20% of your marketplace. We're only talking about the 20%. We're talking about people that you don't know. People that you already know, that's another conversation. People that you already know, just because they don't want to buy a Tridel doesn't mean you're not going to help them, right? So the 80% is one business plan, new business, a separate business plan. Everybody okay with that? So and 80% of your business comes from people you already know. So make sure you get that locked down tight with all your follow-up and stuff and that, and then you can do also the 20%. But there we are. And I think it was encouraging. Some people did do the Rich Robbins last week. How many people showed up for that in Ajax Convention Center? And he was selling his story. It was $14.98. Probably what, knocked off $100? Knocked off $100. Did anybody what the cost was for Mike Ferry? Is it $1,000? I heard he took $100 off.
Oh my God. Richard Robbins.
Rich-
Mike Grace.
Rich Robbins is, I'm talking Rich Robbins. Rich Robbins, I thought it was 1,400. It's $1,000. And then you took another 200 off for people in the room.
Yes. It says 798 sign up that day.
798, sign up that day, yeah, okay. But if you didn't sign up that day on the 20th, he's got another one on October the 4th. You can sign up that day and get the same discount, I'm sure.
Yeah. That was it.
But do it. I mean, do it. You gotta expose yourself. Expose yourself. Doesn't really matter the cost and that. I mean, it's the cost of doing business. It's a business expense for you. So just go out there and get knowledge and understand what other people are doing. Katelyn talked about networking. Okay, how do you network? Let's say you want to network for referrals. Rich Robbins. I mean, if I go to Rich Robbins and I was in the game there, I think I'd want to find out the guys from Rich Robbins. It would be the other Central 21 guys, the guys from cities around the hub that's too far for them to do the business themselves, and they want to refer them, try to get a referral business there, right? So you got to get yourself exposed, and all has to be part of the game. Realtors say that more sellers are opting to sell their existing homes before they're buying. Is that the trend right now? Because before we were telling everybody months ago to buy first, sell second. So now we're telling everybody to sell first, then buy, right? That's why we have over 19,000 listings today. Last year we had 18,233. Today we have 19,033. So it's gone up about 800 listings in 1 week, right? Because sellers are coming out, but they want to sell first before they buy. So you must have clients yourself in that same boat. So this is going back to the 80%, all the people you've talked to in the past, make sure you're talking to them today because they're thinking about doing something today. If you think the market's slow, if you're reading the newspapers and saying the interest rates are this and the market's horrible and we're all gonna whatever, your clients are reading that same stuff, but then we've got 19,000 listings out there. So they're starting to list the property. So that's why you want to talk to these folks. If you're going to sell first rather than buy first, what is the risk? Because if you don't sell, they don't buy. So what's the risk? All they're doing is signing a piece of paper and you put a sign in their house and they have to make the house clean, right? Beyond that, there's no danger. No danger, right? So why not, right? So we're in there's two markets. There's a spring market, fall market. We're in the fall market right now. So make sure you get out there, talk to your people and do things that we're talking about here, right? For sales, sales right now, actually they're coming back. I think last week I was telling you that sales are down like 27%. This week they're only down 11%. So as my financial advisor would tell me, the market, everybody else in the market's down 27. You're only down 11, so you're ahead. You have to think about that one. You don't get that one? I say I don't care what the other guys are, I'm still down. Doesn't really matter. Anyways. Sales are minus 11%. August, the sales were, okay, we had 3,400, say 3,500 sales so far for the first 24 days in September. Last year we had 3,900. August was 3,800. So it's actually only down 10% from August. So that's coming back as well when you compare August to September. Freeholds are down 11%, condos are down 11%. So it's consistent across the board. On the lease side, there's 8,400 active leases. You remember at one time that the active leases matched the sales? Now it's more than double. And as I said last week, of the 18,000 listings that were active last week, we had 8,000 of them were either tenanted or vacant. So 50% of the inventory today is either tenanted or vacant. So you got past clients that bought investment properties, they're thinking about selling it now because of the interest rates and the cash flow. If you sold somebody a condominium or a house 2-3 years ago and they paid a big money for it, and you might think they're never going to sell it again because they're going to lose 200 grand, 300 grand. I won't pay attention to them. Those are the guys you want to talk to because even though the price has gone down on their property, their mortgage payments have gone up by 20%, and they may be in financial difficulties. So you just want to say, hey, can I help you? Whatever it might be. Leases are down 5%. Condo leases are down 0%. They're actually equal to last year, and the freeholds are down 14% for leases. I don't know, so you gotta use this information, I don't like giving bad information, but anytime it's bad information, you gotta use that to your advantage and talk to clients that it fits. So it's saying here that Canadian house prices are to fall another 10% in 2024. Somebody's told me just recently that they thought the prices, or somebody's saying that the prices are gonna drop 25%. We know that the prices already dropped 25%. That's old history, that's old news. So sometimes the newspapers are reporting history. If you follow what I'm saying, they're reporting what happened in the past. They try to predict the future, but generally they're talking about the past. So they've already dropped. So the average price, I did a little quiz there before I started. Anybody remember what was the average price in February? Okay, what was the peak of the market and what was the average price? Peak of the market would have been February 22. And the average price would have been 1.337, something like that, 333. And today, the average price is $1,082,000. I thought it was $1,050,000, so it's $1,082,000. Somebody said $1,082,000, so it's $1,082,000. So it's gone from 1.3 to 1.1, 200,000, 20%. It's actually a little bit more, 25%. So it's already dropped, right? So they're talking about another 10%. So you got a seller, you got a buyer, no, you got a seller think I want the prices to come back before I list my property for sale. Then you're going to use that saying that we're predicting maybe another adjustment for 24. Right? If you've got a buyer that says to you, hey, I'm waiting for the prices to drop, you're not going to show them that, are you? Right? And you can do that for every property, every type of property in the area. You can always find places that are actually increases. A lot of places are actually increases. We had last week a property that in Oshawa that had 15 offers on it. So that tells me there's 15 offers, one winner, 14 losers, 14 buyers out there. Right? So the market's not dead. It's just we have to make sure that the price is right for those folks. I don't think talk about that one. GTA sales season second worst August. I don't know. Never mind. Experts say that predictability is returning to Ontario's market. So there's a good news, right? So even though the prices have dropped since 2022, this year the prices have actually stayed within about $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 of the average price for the last 4 or 5 months. Yes, it's gone down a little bit, but it has evened off and it is predictable. Anybody that's been around for a long time knows there's two markets. I mentioned this already. There's the spring market, there's a fall market, right? But in the last couple of years, because of the low prices and pandemic, it kind of blended in. There really wasn't sort of a strong spring fall, but now we're getting back in a predictable market where we are. We're going to get a nice fall and ahead of spring. Spring, if you remember, was quite busy in March. Do you remember that? And then the government came in and they jacked up the interest rates and that just killed it for the summer. All right. But now we're in the fall market and people are adjusting and people have to sell. It doesn't really matter what the rates are. They have to sell, they can't afford it. So that's going on there. And we're going to come into a traditional fall market. Weather's wonderful out there. What a great time to go out there door knocking and open houses and things like that. People are doing open houses. Did anybody anybody here do open houses at all last weekend? Okay, two. Julian, how did your open house go? Look, you had a bit of a show going on there. It was nice. Yeah, good. All right. Now you did a property. Tell me you did a property. Did you do door knocking before the open house? Perfect. Okay, thank you. So here we have brand new agents, and Julian's been around for a little bit there, but we have a brand new agent there, Natsumi. And so Natsumi sat in with Jenny, and Jenny says, an open house, this is what you do. Right? You door knock and you phone call and you invite them to the open house and you pre-open house and do social media and put it on realtor.ca. So they did all that thing, got 14. Did good, right? Who else? What did you do on yours?
Social media, try to market it prior to going. Previous couple of weeks didn't get many people tied up sitting inside. So there's a lock on the door, left the sign, so I just went open around the street. You're not well with it, and then the amount of spring in, the number of people.
All right, so here we go. All right, so I got him now. So I just talked about the new agent. I didn't mention your name, so no one knows who you are. Who sat in the open house. Nobody came to the open house the last couple weekends. So this weekend they got tired. It's okay, this is enough. They locked the open house and knocked on the neighborhood doors, invited to the open house and got people in. So the only difference between what you did and what Julian and his folks did is they did it before the open house. Okay. So it's funny how when Ginny and that guys tell you like these are things that you should be doing, we just don't make it up. Okay, it's just not something you do. It sounds like a good thing to do. Right? These are effective things that work. So, and what you're trying to do, what are you trying to do with an open house? What are you really trying to do? You're trying to get more listings in that neighborhood. So by inviting the neighborhoods to your house on a pre-open house, a special invite, then that makes more sense. You're good at that, right? Looking at Alex here, do you do that? Do you invite people to open houses when you have them? Right? And door knocking, and I'm looking at Alex here only because you generally you do very well with open houses, do you not? I mean, but and you're in the neighborhood too, though. I'm getting at it because you'll get one listing. You'll generally try to get something in the neighborhood or nearby too, and that's the whole purpose of it. So again, the market's normal. It's predictable. It's we can actually see it. Nobody's rushed in that, so it's actually a nice little market for instead of having to Mr. Seller, what's the price? I don't know. Let's real professional, right? Your seller asks you is during the boom, what do you think the price is worth? I don't know. Right? Let's put in the market and see. Right? Whereas today, another story. Right? Another story today. Oh, you're clapping. Somebody asked you the question last week on different real estate boards. And I want to say it's happened already because it is happened. I believe that the Barrie board now all listings are on Stratus. I'm looking at Nelson here, I'm getting a yes. And it's under Simcoe. I know that Peterborough board shut down because all the people quit, right? In their board that were running the MLS part of it. And they joined with Kawartha, they joined with Northumberland, which are already part of anyways, and Durham was already part of Treb anyways, but Peterborough and Kawartha Lakes joined Treb, so all their data is also on Stratus under X. Still under X, so I think probably in the future they'll probably change to something else, but right now it's under X, and that's where you're getting a little confused because it's so if you're looking at properties, you don't have to broker load, for instance, so you don't have to interboard, you don't have to do any of that stuff because we all have the same database now. Now, it looks like these guys never got the memo because you've got Hamilton and Waterloo who have decided to join together, but they still want to stay on ITSL. So if you got stuff in Hamilton and Waterloo and stuff, they're not part of Stratus. Maybe they'll get together and say they're going to join Stratus as well, but today not so. So you still have to do interboarding for those guys, but they're making changes. We always get calls, Nelson. I always get calls from people looking for churches. There's a church for sale on Highway 2 in Pickering, if anybody's interested. Church, yeah. Banquet halls and churches are very, very popular for new agents. Right in the village, Pickering Village, next to the Masonic Lodge there. Or the old Masonic Lodge. $2.8 million. Nice little place. Yeah, Pickering Village. Yeah, church. Yeah, Highway 2 and church. It's Randall Drive. It's the other. The government came in and they decided, boy, poor Trudeau, man, he had a bad week. Eh? Between the Ukrainian stuff and the Indian stuff, he just got beat up. And then my friend Ford, he got beat up too. so the Ford one was really bad. I mean, it looked stinky right from the very beginning. Just to remind you, the guy from Rice Group, I think they developed the Wilmot Creek. I'm not sure, but I think he's a big shot there. But he bought pieces of land out in Caledon area. I think he paid $80 million for like 800 acres, and it was all greenfield. And he bought, I think, a year and a half ago, 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years. As soon as they lifted this particular property this guy bought for $80 million, as soon as they lifted it off the green belt, now the property's worth $800 million. So everybody's scratching their heads thinking, how did that happen? And how this guy, why would somebody pay $80 million for a green belt land you can't develop? Unless somebody whispered in his ear, oh, by the way, and this is what happened. And then Ford got caught and all his buddies got caught, and now they had to reverse it, which means this guy that paid $80 million and now it's worth $800 million. Now it's back to $80 million. Who's he going to sue for the difference? You and me. It's all taxpayer money, right? But we'll see what happens there. So the federal government has removed the GST portion for purpose-built rentals, so rental buildings. And last week I was a little confused there because I guess I'm whatever else, but the total HST is 13%. The provincial portion is 8%. The federal portion is 5%. So the federal government's giving them 5% break, which is not bad. And everybody's saying that's going to be a game changer. Because right now you can't build purpose-built rentals. So if I build a purpose-built rental, I have to pay the 5% HST as part of my expenses. If I'm building a brand new condominium, the HST gets passed on to the buyer. You follow me there? So that's why they're saying that this is going to be a break for the developers. Maybe they'll do purpose-built because they're going to get this bit of a break. We'll see. There's also all kinds of red tape that Toronto has to get over with. They're adding tens of thousands of dollars. I know, just gonna draw off the top of my head. I think condominium units were crazy numbers, like $120,000 per suite was city taxes. And now they're saying here that they're adding another $20,000-$30,000 by red tape, by delay, all the things that they have to do to make things happen.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever it is, but it's just the whole point is that it costs them more money than they need to do. And here's part of the problem. We talked about Pickering Center Point. What's it called? City Center. There's an article here. They released 543 units on the first phase on one building, two buildings. One tower, White Center. So they released 543. They sold out 95% in 1 weekend or 1 week. 95% sold. And it's asking about $1,050,000 per square foot. And the article I was reading, they're saying that our competitors across the road there, they're $100 per square foot cheaper. I think they're $200 a square foot cheaper.
Which one is that?
Universal.
What's the more expensive?
That's what I'm saying. Is it 100? Is it 1,200 or 1,100? That's what I thought. It's $200. They're saying $100. But anyways, it's there. So everybody's happy, and it's going to be they're actually building a new city hall too, new Pickering City Hall, and it's going to be like 10 buildings there by the time they finish. There's going to be 6,000 residents. It's going to be quite something, and Pickering's all embracing it, saying this is going to be good because Pickering doesn't have any condominiums really. There's a handful, maybe I don't know, 4 or 5. That's it, right? So there's it's right there, but it's a perfect location though because it's got the 401, it's got the GO train, it's got all kinds of stuff. So if you have investors, that'd be probably one I'd recommend anyway. So here we got Markville. Anybody know Markville?
Yeah.
Markville, they want to do a similar thing, but the problem there is that all the locals have gotten together, they signed a petition saying not in our backyard. Did you see that?
This is Markham.
Markham, yeah. Markham. Well, Markville's a Markham. I don't know. So these
Finding a parking there.
so this is what Ford did from the very beginning, saying these people you don't want. I mean, these people are stopping the growth of the city by they don't want it in their backyard, right? So this is an awful thing they're doing. And then I read that Fairview Mall is gonna do the same thing. Fairview Mall, right on the corner where the parking lot is, I think the southeast corner. They're gonna build towers there now too. And Scarborough Town probably too, right? Scarborough Town, and so they're all doing it. So I'm not sure what the guys in Markham are thinking, but anyways. Yeah, market residents rally against proposed market development plan. And then real estate in Toronto and Markham, you can show this to your buyers. Are no longer in bubble territory. They're only in overinflated territory. This is a globe of people that analyze stuff. The other cities that are still in bubble territory are Zurich and Tokyo. Tokyo and Zurich. Zurich, Switzerland. Sorry. And then Munich's in there too. And Miami. Drake. No, where's no? He's not here. Where's Santa? Drake was doing a concert in Houston, and he announced over the weekend there that he's going to sell his house in Toronto and move to Houston. So he lives on the bridle path. So somebody wants to do some door knocking. There it is, right? This I like this person. This is she writes for the Toronto Star. She's a realtor. She writes for the Toronto Star, but she writes stuff that I challenge all the time. Unless it's just me, I don't know. Anybody read the Toronto Sun? Brendan Lackey? Toronto Sun? No. She's always got good stuff to talk about there, but it's kind of off a little bit there. But it says new normal in the fall real estate market. So how does the cliche go? That a real estate agent will never not tell you when it's. Real estate agent will never not tell you that it's a great time to sell real estate. Okay, so cliches, right? So when's the best time to sell real estate? Right? We're conditioned to say that, right? So she's saying the same thing. So see, a survey of honest, experienced real estate agents at the moment, I would bet most would be saying it's not a great time to be a buyer or a seller. Would you agree?
No.
Thank you. So I don't like her already, right? Signs of the time coming into the fall on the heels of absolute snoozer of a summer market. There was much anticipation with interest rates hovering at a level not seen since 2001. Functionally eliminating a huge swath of buyers from the market. Consensus certainly agreed that the transaction volume would come down, which it did. The theory went that when reduced demand would still hold its Toronto in the strong market. So even though there's more inventory, there's enough demand to absorb it. Like Toronto was so hot, people wanted to buy, but that's not the case right now because interest rates have sort of knocked a lot of buyers out of the box, right? That's the problem there. Yeah, nobody expected Mercy. What happened? The interest rates, by the way, are going to announce, was it October something? Anybody know the date? So October 26th is the next rate increase. And the inflation rate went up to 4% last week.
Yeah.
So that tells me that they have they've got all the reasons to increase it again another quarter point, but I think they have to look at the economy too and see what's going on. We'll see.
They're giving money away so they can stop giving money away.
Yeah. She also goes on to saying here that pricing properties undervalue is a Russian roulette game. And that's where I disagree too, because I still think that if you've got a seller and your seller wants to sell desperately, you've got two types of sellers. Some are trying to get their price, they'll sell it, they don't get the price they want. Other people, they have to sell because they're motivated, right? But what we have to do, of course, is make sure they understand what's going on with the market today and how you're going to market it. And what she said here in the past article saying that underpricing, going for bidding wars is old news. It doesn't work. It's Russian roulette. Last week I showed you, I think I had like 25% of the properties that sold last week were sold over asking with a below asking price, like a low asking price. But I'm thinking there, and I think Nelson and I, we talked about this. If you've got a property for sale, you're gonna price it at market, above market, or below market.
Below.
And the reason why you're gonna price it below is because you want eyeballs on that property, you want showings, you want activity. If you're sitting there and they're getting no activity at all, and you believe what she's telling you here in this article, I'm gonna price it at market value. I'm not gonna play that game anymore. The property's worth 1.5. I'm gonna price it at 1.55, and I'm gonna do it right. I'm not, Meanwhile, that person's gonna sit there dead and the client's gonna be mad at them because there's no activity, no showings, no nothing. Whereas if you took that 1.5 property, priced it at 1.1, it's gonna get all kinds of activity, and then you can talk about stuff. I'm looking anyway, am I telling the truth? Right? So in my mind here, you still have to underprice the eyeballs and get your client off your back and see what's going on. You're not gonna, it doesn't mean you're gonna sell it for any less money, but you're gonna get more activity and you're gonna have something to talk about. Otherwise, you're just gonna be staring at each other, thinking, what do you want to do now?
But some of the property that don't have it, people don't know the value. You can't advertise.
No, but I'm thinking of strategy.
Property and so on, can't advertise.
25% of the properties in August were council relisted. So whatever strategy worked the first time didn't work the second time. Okay, good. All right. Is anybody playing around with Realm at all? Not yet. Not yet. I think it's better than Stratus.
No.
No, I did a little printout. Okay, I'm used to Stratus. So I went to Realm and I said, okay, I want to see condominiums, right? And what I was curious about was what is the what I like to look at condominiums. I like to see the address. I like to see the type. Fine. I like to know how many bedrooms, washrooms. Maintenance fee to me is important because maintenance fees tells me what the square footage is and whether it's parking or not, whether parking spaces are included. I also want to know what the original price was. I want to know what the price that it was last listed at. And I want to know what it sold for. I want to know the percentage of listing price. I want to know the days on the market. So basically everything, right? So that's what I look at because it tells you what's going on. So all I do is I go to Realm, and I go to the columns and I say, okay, I want all the things I talked about. I want that to show up into columns. And it saves it, and here it is. So now I just go to my condominiums, I go to my printout, go to my condominium that I saved by printouts, and you get it and stuff. You can do this in Stratus as well, but probably didn't know that. So anyway, so that's a fun little thing there. Have you tried that yet or not? Well, it does. It has everything. Stratus does not have address history. Realm does. Oh no, you got $2 in your pocket, you want to lose? When you bring up a listing on Realm, you bring up the full listing and you go and you scroll down, James, you'll see without having to go to Geo Warehouse or anything, you'll actually see what they paid for it and you'll see. Well, that's what I'm talking about, right? So how's Sigma? I don't know about that. No, but Realm shows you the history, it goes back to 1950. Like or whatever date. So it show you the whole series of things without having to click in address, without having to click in all the other buttons at the top. You know, you got address history and you got listing history. You don't have to click on those things that comes out in that one report. Anyways, we created this Realm thing. It's still out there. This little checklist. It's a little 14-point little course. We sent it to you a couple of times. Ask Ginny or if you want to copy it again. What we've done here, we went to Realm. We created these little 1 minute, 2 minute little flashes of information. Otherwise, you can go to Realm and Treb now is advertising. You know, so on Treb, you go to Treb training, you can go to webinar training. Those things take an hour and a half, which I think a lot of people haven't signed up because that's a long time, right? So that's why I kind of like these little snippets there to see what's going on. You don't have to do that to February, so we'll talk about it again in January. If anybody wants to go to an S show, you know what an S show is? S show? Go to the Treb Town Hall meeting on October 11th, where it's going to be a they're going to meet, and you can ask questions about Tressa, and you can ask questions about all the things you want to ask about health plan, all those things, right? So that's why I say it's going to be an S show, because they want to do this town hall meeting with the members, and they have an agenda of what they want to talk about. But I know what's going to happen. They're going to get there and they're going to hammer them with this insurance thing and stuff like that. Right? There are people are so mad about that one. we were talking earlier on, Katelyn, about her target markets. Okay, so here's another target market. You have clients that have kids. Why not educate them about the new federal home savings account? Right? Ask me about asking me how to get your kids to buy a property. I know I'm trying to think of lead magnet there, right? Got a kid that needs to buy a first time home, give me a call and I'll give you all the things that are necessary. What are all the things? Okay. First time buyers, you've got home buyers plan. All right, that's up to, what is it now? 30,000? How much is the home price? Was 25, was it 40 or? Yeah.
It's 30.
I was gonna say 30. So you got the 30,000 for your RSP plan. You've got your land transfer tax rebates for both provincial and for Toronto. You've got your 5% discount for your legal fees and for your land transfer tax. You get another $5,000 reduction on that. You've got the first time home savings plan, which you can save up to $8,000. This is the best plan ever, by the way. You can save for $8,000 per year, maximum $40,000. Well, it's like 3.5 years, whatever it is. But on that plan, you get to deduct the $8,000 from your taxable income, just like an RSP. You put the money into a investment account, and any accumulation that builds tax free. So you get double whammy. So it works like an RSP and it works like a tax-free savings account, but it's a double. So that's something you could put into your magnet, like first-time buyers. And I would just make a list of all these programs that are available for first-time buyers and ask you for the list. Right? When they ask you for the list, the real question when they ask you for the list isn't the information, it's they've got somebody in their house that wants to buy something. Right? You follow what I'm saying there? So that's an easy one for me. Like that, you want to lead magnet, and you don't necessarily have to do it in one shot. You could do it over a series of ask for my series of emails for first time home buyers programs, right? We're waiting for Treb to doing the new sign in probably relatively soon, September 26th. Did everybody get emails from Korea asking you to sign up and create a new login by September 26th? It's not spam. So when you get that from Korea, make sure that you've filled that out. That way you'll have access to the Korea website and all the stuff that Korea does. Sky Slope Offers has to come in on December 1st. That's gonna be another training program. So we've got all kinds of training programs, but I want to do a little bit of time, but I'm handicapped right now because I don't have enough forms. Once I get the forms, then I know exactly what we'll be doing, but until then we can just sort of talk generally. But just to remind you, some things that are going to be happening. And you can sign up for these courses again, September 29th, 16th, 20th. There's all types of courses you can sign up for the Trust in Real Estate Act, which comes into effect on December the 1st. It will change quite a lot of paperwork, but until we see what it is, then we'll sell.
Previous sign, have you guys noticed that some people
Yeah,
send some emails, they don't send it?
yeah.
I noticed there was a bug last week at nighttime where they were all delayed. They came in. The biggest bug right now is the flattening of the PDF.
This morning I was doing it, and I deleted from Outlook to Gmail, they send it right away. So the Outlook was gonna send it.
But there is some major issues with the flattening.
So let me just finish Tressa for a second here. So Tressa, so you're gonna have so in the future, come January, we're gonna have from Rico has to create this forum. It's gonna Rico information guide that we're gonna give to all clients. It's gonna be similar to working with a realtor. It's gonna be, what they do. So we'll be able to hand that to the clients and the way they go. In the future, there'll be no clients. And we took in a seminar last week. It was stupid. Was it stupid? I shouldn't take that word back. The guy started off saying, okay, in the future on the Trust in Real Estate Act, you cannot have customers. There's no such thing as a customer. You can have a client who has to sign an agreement. There's no such thing as a customer. You have a client who signed an agreement, and you have somebody that's called a self-represented person. Self-represented person, you're not allowed to give service to because you're not representing them. It's against the law, in fact, to give them service. That's what they try to tell us.
Their commission.
No. What he said here, and this is a good point. He says, for sale by owner, you approach it for sale by owner. The guy for sale by owner says to you, bring a buyer and I'll pay you commission. Right? Can't get commission from a client. It's against the law to get, can't get commission from a, sorry, not client, can't get a commission from a self-represented person. So you're gonna have to get yourself an exclusive listing to get paid.
So after you show the property, you get exclusive listing
Correct, then you're fine.
and then.
Then you're fine, but
do it, you know,
That's
just
right.
in one day.
yeah, so it's no big deal, but again, the guy ended the webinar saying, if you're going for sale by owner and you want him to pay a commission, you can't because he's not allowed to pay a commission. And then he went on to the next step.
Can you get an exclusive listing for that, just for that?
I don't know, he didn't tell us any of that stuff.
But don't you have to get a BRA for that client that you're showing the property to?
Oh, no, yeah, but who's paying the commission?
I know, but even to show a property.
To
you
show
have
the,
to have
well,
a
show a
BRA.
property, you have a BRA, yeah, your buyer, you have to have your buyer a BRA. You can't show the buyer that property either, by the way, without a BRA,
That's show by what property?
any property.
The one you were just talking about with that Bisbee. In that example, you would also need a BRA for that.
Can't show.
You cannot show a person a property without a BRA.
Can't show property without the.
Correct.
Starting with,
December 1st,
Run.
December 1st.
that's good actually.
Everybody okay with
They're gonna
that?
make a simple BRA one page.
It's gonna get longer.
The minute you talk to somebody that wants to come and look at the property, you have to stand outside. the
Oh,
door.
yeah, I still, but look at the guy that's, you have a listing, the guy phones you up or a guy knocks on your door and says, oh, I want to buy through you because I want to buy with a listing agent because I want to get a commission. You say, take a hike. I can't work with you unless you sign a BRA. You can show your open house. You're not allowed to show in the house next door.
So you just stand there and get them signed up. if you
Correct.
go next door.
Yes. Mhm. Which is good. I like that. I like it.
People are-
Anyway, so until I get the forms, I don't know the deal. These are just things that they're throwing out just to make everybody confused.
I think we actually need to put it on that so that they think you're not pushing and being an overly aggressive person.
You're making life miserable.
No, no.
Properties is-
The other thing that they're gonna be doing is, well, okay, you can still do multi-representation. I'm gonna put it that, multi-representation. You can still do that. Different disclosure forms. You can't just say if you're buying the property for yourself, you just can't say, hey, I'm a realtor. That's not the disclosure. The disclosure is I'm a realtor and I'm buying it for this reason. For my son to flip to whatever you're gonna be doing. You just can't say, hey, I'm a realtor and that's your disclosure. So that'll be changing that. Again,
Right, purpose.
Again, I haven't seen the forms yet, so until I see the forms,
That makes sense.
that makes sense to me. And then, of course, the contents of the offer, we'll be dealing with that later on, and there is software available. Hopefully it's not screwing up like the other software, but we'll have software for multiple offers and that. Just so you know, in the States, it's not happening now and it won't be happening probably for a year or so anyways, and there's a similar case in Canada going on right now too, and I'm not sure how far it is. But the class action suit in the States is that the sellers are complaining that the agents are forcing them to pay cooperating commission when they don't want to. It's not fixed, but it is kind of fixed. Everybody know what I'm talking about? The co-op commission, 2.5%. The United States, they're both Central 21 and Remax have all signed off on it, that they will not be offering commission to cooperating brokers. You have a BRA? BRA, you put 3%, 2.5%, where do you put it on there? And then the buyer pays.
So now
To-
buyer
to-
would be looking to negotiate the commission.
Well, they do, well, the buyer's negotiating commission right now, right?
No, but right now it's not that much.
Right now, and I got called from the lawyers myself. Saying, okay, why is it 2.5%? Because that was the argument. Why is it 2.5%? And I said, well. Because. Well, and then I said, well, if you didn't offer 2.5%, then another agent might not show it. And there's the rub. Because they're saying the agents are colluding by that statement. You follow me? Colluding.
Not necessarily. There's been times where I told my buyer clients, that they're offering any less than 2.5%, the contract they obligate.
Correct. Yeah, so Chad's absolutely right.
And then they'll say.
And this is,
Say, I'll read it, or
yeah,
they'll say, "No."
correct. And that was the argument I gave the lawyer. I said, doesn't, I mean, we have BRA for 3%. So I'm getting 3% from the buyer, or getting 3% from the seller. I don't care. Right? So it doesn't matter. But this is coming down, this will be down the tubes, down the future, but just so I'm just softening up a little bit. That's all.
Overseas, listing broker gets paid, buyer's broker gets paid from both parties,
Correct.
buyers and sellers.
And that's what's gonna happen in the States. Now, as far as technically goes, we have to put some writing in there, but we have to change the laws too, because you want to put a writing in there saying that the buyer agrees to credit the seller agrees to credit the buyer 2.5% on statement adjustments. That way the buyer can get a mortgage for that 2.5%, because if he's only putting 5% down, he's gonna pay you 2.5. Then there's trouble, right? So there'll be something in there that they'll be allow that to happen, but we'll deal with that.
And lawyer, direct the real estate agent to.
Yeah, we'll do something on paper, so it really won't affect you, but will affect you is what Shiv's right. I mean, now you're going to the buyer and charging 2.5%, but I think that for a buyer, if you're gonna show that buyer 1 house, 2 house, 3 house, 5, 10 house, I think you can justify your commission pretty quick.
You don't have trouble with the buyers who've already seen through the open house and they called you and say, hey, I wanna buy it.
Yeah, I did all the work. Then finally, just a thought, I could just go top of my head here. Somebody wrote a letter here. Oh, it was the editor of Rem magazine. Was he a realtor? And what he's saying, he's challenging. This is just for fun, but he's just challenging the way that realtors react and talk, right? We have cliches that are true and not true. Cliche would be first offer is always the best offer. And is that true?
Yes.
And why is it true? Why is it true? Because he said it and you said it and he said it and you said it and it finally got to you. All right. So that was one I thought of. What's another one? First offer is always the best offer. Right? You do that one, right?
Yeah, but it is true.
No,
Because
not
if it
the
sits
time.
there longer on the market, then it becomes stale and
No.
stuff is no.
So the one he brought up was the one that wants everybody to challenge, saying here, only because we've been doing it, it may be right, I don't know. Staging a house gets you more money.
Sir,
Yeah.
Staging a house sells a house faster.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No.
Is it only true because somebody else said it? Do you have facts? Do you have facts? Do anybody here know that other than what the Staging Association of America tells us, do we know that if the staging, does it actually work? I know, I'm talking-
Get your listing.
I'm talking about, well, okay, that's right. I'm not talking about decluttering and messes and clutter and, the house has to be nice and clean and that, but what he goes on to say here, if put it another way, okay, you're selling a cottage, when you see a cottage property, what would you normally see on that cottage property? What are they selling?
Location.
The lake, and they got pictures of the boats, and they got pictures of the kayaks, and you got pictures of all the lifestyle, all the things that, are they staging cottages? No. They're selling the whole lifestyle. If I had a cottage comes with all the furniture anyways, right? So he says on staging, why wouldn't you just have a house that looks like it lived in? Like, if your target's gonna be a family house, you got a 4-bedroom house. You staged it so it's sterile for no kids couple. Right? No, for no kids couple. Like, where's that attract? But if you had the house attracted to the family, it's gonna move in with 4 bedrooms. They want to see the hockey net in the driveway. They want to see the kids' pictures and trophies and whatever they're gonna do, right? So you're selling the lifestyle that they can see their family in that house. You follow what I'm saying? And in today's market, if you've got 19,000 listings and you're going to go out there and spending $3,000-4,000 for staging to get the listing. So maybe if you don't want to spend that money and they're saying staging, resell it. My target is going to be a family of little kids. They want to see the bunk beds. They want to see so this is what the article said. Sorry.
Compared to last month, we're selling 1 out of 3 last month.
Yeah.
Now we're selling 1 out of 6.
So if you're the type
That's
of
what
person, so if you're the type of person that pays for the staging, then you're gonna have a bit of you're gonna have a cost on your bottom line that you didn't expect, right? Does that make sense or not? Or I don't know. Or just repeat what everybody else says, right?
This at this price won't stage.
You pay for the staging and I'll list it. Or you sell the dream and then they don't want the dream, they want the whatever else. I tell you though, one of our agents did lose a listing years ago. I think he learned now, one of his first listings. Took a listing presentation and went to the house and looked around the house, and the clients asked him, what do you think about stage? And he said, this house is perfect. This house, you could put this house on the, you know, the, what do they call it? Home and Gardens magazine. The house is beautiful. And then he did his pitch and went away, and then he finds out he lost the listing. Why did he lose the listing? Because the other agent staged it. So there's a bit of a salesmanship going involved, like Shiv says. Why do you stage? Get the listing. Yeah, so you gotta think, what is it effective or not effective? What's gonna help? Same as open house,
The
right?
agents, they pay for the staging. The agents, they won't pay.
Yep.
The owners will pay for it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Yeah.
Who was one of the agents in our office spent $18,000 in staging and probably in the Senate. How much is staging? 18,000, something like that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things going on there. Okay, does anybody have any property they want to talk about? Properties they want to talk about? Alex? Thanks.
Where you living?
It's $350,000 for a deeded access, lake access cottage, I guess. 4 season? 4 season? Trent.
Yeah.
Go to the end of the world and then keep going. Anybody else? Anybody else? Properties? No. Okay, guys. All right. So hopefully you can do your homework. Get the stuff done. Well, sorry.
The other Alex.
Oh, sorry. No, Julian's put his hand. I'm looking at Julian. I looked right past Alex. Sorry.
We have 2 assignments in credits. One is 750. That's one.
Does your coming soon have an R symbol on the side?
No,
So Alex got 2 assignments downtown. $700. How much per square foot?
smaller ones, we do, the other was
Per square foot or price?
Oh, sorry, that's-
Price, those prices? Oh, square foot. Okay, so it's still about 1,000 square foot. Anybody else get involved in the assignment sales? Anybody have any clients that are trying to get rid of their assignment sales? Everybody? Are we getting anybody have any buyers or assignment sales? How about that? So there's another magnet called lead magnet. Cheap assignment sales. How to buy assignment sale at a bargain. How to buy an assignment sale for cheaper than market value. Because everybody's got assignment sales, nobody has buyers. So why don't we run something like that?
I found one over like creeping the Ferris team. This one's for bullet apartment investor. And it's a little pamphlet on someone that's looking to invest in apartments. Download my free guide here. So Ferris team does it as well. If you guys came to my thing today, you'll know that. Yeah, but like he's doing the magnet to attract looking for investors. Are you a Canadian investor looking to invest in the USA multi-family apartment market? This ebook is made for you. So you target Canadians that want to invest in the US, they're giving them a guide. And now he knows he's looking.
So there's no reason why somebody here couldn't do for yeah. So there's no reason why somebody couldn't do it here, right? Here, click here for I know, but he has an office in Florida.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about for you guys, right? You could, I don't know.
How many people is there working for?
He's got a full office. He's a full office. He's like a full brokerage. He's a full brokerage. 2 branches, but he's a full brokerage.
But he considers himself as a team.
Yeah, I mean, I've been tested to I think I'll make Percy Fulton a team.
That's, like definitely this team has his name.
Yeah, as I say, I could do it easy. Anything else? Long day, got a long day tomorrow and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully make it the 5 days, right? Julian? Yeah. Yeah, I saw those, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so Bim and Julian are talking about property that's in what city is it? Mill? What'd you say, Mill? Kingsville. Okay, so Kingsville's outside Windsor and it's on Lake Ontario, right? Lake Erie, sorry, it's right on the coast of Lake Erie. It's a kind of suburb of Windsor. Yeah. 2.9, they're modern looking houses. Look, they're actually quite nice. Right here, yeah. Yeah, I know they're very modern looking, for sure. Anything else? Okay, folks, all right, so see you tomorrow.
10:15.